Boston Bros is number one thing not. You're dead wrong. You can catch me doing misbehaving with my products on. It's real boxing talk every time we meet with Ned, the TBE, and Conspiracy G. We bring it to you raw, unbiased. You know the deal. You can even get a poor dealer here from Dollar Bill with my guys by my side. You know we going live. All we need you to do is please like and subscribe. Boxing Bros. Peace.
The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros are comments made by Toney Bellew. Toney Bellew says that Alexander Usyk can beat every heavyweight in the division with the exception of Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. The question is, do you agree or disagree with that statement? I'm going to start it off with Slippery G.
Y'all already know I don't agree with this, man. You know what I mean? Like, man, listen, Usyk my man, but heavyweight division, he's food, son. So, you know what I mean?
Food?
He's fast food. He's fast food. You know what I mean? Because he's fast in the ring, but once they catch him, you know what I mean? It's an edible snack. So, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't see, like, Chisora was a good test, but Chisora is not these top dogs. Like, he's just not, man. You know what I mean? Like, Andy Ruiz will like damage him. You know, I still think Joseph Parker, I think is just he lacks confidence, but Joseph Parker has the skills to violate Usyk also. Trying to think who else. Like Povetkin has way more endurance than Chisora. Povetkin, I think, is gonna beat Usyk. Dillian, it depends right now with Dillian because of the previous knockout. But prior to that knockout, I think he would have violated Usyk too. I think Deontay Wilder will also violate Usyk. You know, it's going to be tricky for Wilder, but I think in the later rounds, Wilder's just going to catch him in this night. Yeah, he said AJ and Joshua, but I'm trying to think of any other
Wilder.
No, I already said Wilder.
Ortiz.
I think Ortiz will beat him too. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, honest man, yo, I understand the way he responded to the shots from Chisora told me.
Oh my god!
I'm just being honest. He can't take heavyweight punches. Like anytime Chisora hit him, he's like, oh, like I'm like, God, that hurts. You know what I'm saying?
Next, like, brother, you next.
I know you like, yo, Chill's like, what's going on? That fight with Chisora, I was like, bruh, Chisora don't punch hard now. You know what I mean? Like, it was like every shot had Usyk going across the ring. I'm like, fam, it's not that serious. You know what I mean? So if Chisora could do that, I can only imagine like the top dogs are gonna have fun. They're gonna pass him around, bro. It's gonna be ugly, man. Like, I get it. Just try to get that big payday with AJ and get about that division because he's literally food, bro. He's Ukrainian soup, bro. Like, I'm telling you, they're gonna be snacking, bro. I'm just being honest, man. Like, and Usyk, I like you too. I actually like Usyk.
Yo, G.
Nah, y'all be thinking
I can't tell. I can't tell.
Yo, that's what I mean. This is another thing G does. G say some outrageous stuff, but I like him
though. Listen, you know what I'm saying? It's all
G has his disclaimer. How do I like these fighters? I like AJ. I like Usyk. I like.
He suck at everything, but I like him.
Hey, I'm done, man. I'm done. I'm just saying.
You know what? You got a $25 push-up bet on the line with Trill Dollar Bill and Usyk versus Joe Joyce. But Trill, this question is a little different because Toney Bellew said he can beat every heavyweight except Joshua and Fury.
Exactly.
So do you feel like that statement is true? Do you agree with that statement?
Oh, nobody watched the last episode of Boxing Bros? I was about to shout out Toney Bellew for watching Boxing Bros. You know why? Because I stood on the island alone when I said I only think the 1 and 2 guy can beat him. And whoever you flip it, the 1 and 2 guy is AJ and Fury or Fury and AJ. And I stood on that island and I said that those are the only 2 guys that can beat him. Though why? Because this guy is special. Okay, now get it. You might not like him for any reason if you want, but this guy is special. And when we talking about he couldn't take the punches from Chisora, yeah, he was moving. He's there with a guy who outweighed him by some weight. He was moving him around. Yeah, that's gonna happen. But he never rocked him. Never did the stinky leg. So when you're saying that he can't take heavyweight power, where did you see that? Where did you see him hurt? I didn't see him hurt. I seen him being moved around by, it's a guy who was much heavier. But this guy didn't hurt him. He didn't clip him. He didn't rock him. You know what I'm saying? This is a master. This is boxing. This ain't UFC. This is boxing. This is boxing. Google boxing in the Webster Dictionary. What does it say? It says the art of hitting without getting hit. This is what this guy's doing. And this is what he's going to do to them slow punks that you mentioned. The other guys, them fat, no, out of shape, breathing heavy, press conference guys. That's what he's going to do. He's going to run circles around these guys. He's going to have them all and looking stupid. And that's what he's going to do to every guy that you just mentioned. If you put him in there with a guy, who?
Yo, Trill, why you treating Usyk like he a
Wait, Trill.
Because you know why? His skills is that of someone that is a lightweight. And you can't discredit his boxing skills. This guy can really box. This is boxing.
No, listen, hold on. I told y'all
All right, so Trill. So what, Trill?
No,
I'm saying. So what you're saying is Usyk can beat every other heavyweight except Anthony Johnson.
I'm saying right now, you think a one-trick pony is going to beat Usyk? The guy with the one right hand against the guy with more tools? We see what happens when the guy got more tools. What happens?
You know, there's more than 3 guys in the heavyweight division.
I'm telling you now. You mentioned the guy with the right hand. You mentioned the other guys too. They don't have a chance in hell. You mentioned Ruiz. Ruiz is a good fight. I think Ruiz is good in combinations and can let his hands go in combination. You think that he can match Usyk foot-wise?
Nah, but
no,
he's gonna have to come in.
Do you think and you think Usyk is gonna play these games with these guys? Usyk is disciplined. That's one thing that you got to say about this guy. He's disciplined and he sticks to the game plan. You have never seen him get into some I'm gonna go in there and just throw the whole game plan away. And and I don't know what people were saying with the Joe Joyce Usyk fight. I went back and watched it 4 times because everybody was sitting there saying it was such a close fight. You know what I'm saying? I seen Usyk just what he's going to do to him when they fight again. He's going to box his head off. This is boxing. And this guy is a good boxer. I don't care where he's from. I don't care where he can box. He can box his butt off. You know what I'm saying? Give him some credit. I know he's one of the smallest guys there, but we don't have small heavyweights before who are amazing. You know what I'm saying? And he could just add to that Spinks legacy. Because Spinks was a small heavyweight. He can move up to that legacy and he can do his own thing. I don't think he can beat, like I said, the only guys that I think can beat him is the number 1 and number 2 guys. I said that on my last video. You know what I'm saying? I stood on that and I'll stand on that island alone because I don't see athletic-wise. When you look at the heavyweight division, you know what I'm saying? I get it. When you look at the heavyweight division, you see these big guys with and they're powerful punches, right? But I can sit there and I can count how many seconds it takes for those punches to land on somebody. Usyk is not letting these slow punks land on him. You know what I'm saying? You got to be special. And there's only 2 other guys in that division that I think that is special. And and they're from across the pond. And it's AJ and it's Tyson Fury. Because they got other things in their game and they're willing to learn. These guys will sit back and they will look and learn and watch tapes on how to beat Usyk. They're not just going to go in there with this idea like, he's small and he's coming up from the cruiserweight, so all this power is going to put him on his butt. You keep thinking that, and these guys is going to get beat up for 12 rounds.
Well, Trill, what's the game plan again? What's the game plan again?
That's what they think. We're big. We just going to go in there and punch him. He's going to fall on the ground. If that's what they think, if they're going to have it's going to be a long 12 rounds. He's going to box their head off. Usyk is special. It's just a different level. It's just a different level. And this guy is always working. He's willing to work. He's proved that he loves this sport. It's not about just grabbing a bag for him. He has a country. It's different. It's different. Everybody think it's about everybody's money. Now everybody's built. Money ain't the driving force for everybody. Some people care about legacy and pride and heritage and family and country. Some people care about that. Beliefs. We ain't gonna lay down for a little bit of bag. Some people got more honor than a bag. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
And I believe he's one of them. I done see, and it's so crazy is I see more in Usyk, talent-wise, than every other guy than those two guys that Toney Bellew mentioned. I'm talking about full package. He might not have that one-punch power, but he keeps these guys off of him and he keeps them innocent because after a while, they don't want to take these Usyk punches that's coming from here and up there. He keeps them honest and he gasses these big guys out. I've just got to say, we got to put some respect on Usyk's name. He's proven every fight that he finds a way to win. One of the greatest fighters of our era. Not perfect. We seen things. I seen a bloody nose. Cotto killing Floyd with that overhand. Thought he broke Floyd's nose, but Floyd found a way to win. Mosley rocked him second round. Floyd got the data and won every round and found a way to win. Usyk is special. Guys is outweighing him. But he'll find a way to win. And I agree. He'll find a way to win, except for when it comes to those two guys. Much respect to Ukraine. Much respect to the European fighters. And much respect to Usyk, because I think he deserves all the praise that he's getting. I really do. Until somebody goes in there and proves that he doesn't belong, salute to that brother.
All right, Ned.
All right. I'm going to go with ESPN's top 10, but I'm going to remove Usyk from the top 10, not like just to disrespect him, but I'm going to add Joe Joyce to go up the list and see who he beats. At number 10, I'm going to say Joe Joyce. I think he watches Joe Joyce easily because he did it before. And Joe Joyce is just match made in heaven for Usyk. Usyk is going to dance around the man, slide all his punches. I doubt Joe Joyce can catch him the way he hits. I'm sorry. As Joe Joyce is a powerful puncher, but I don't know how Daniel Dubois got caught by his punches, man. Every time I see him throw it, it's so the technique Joe Joyce has is bad. It's like it's bad. It is bad.
And I don't mean to cut you off, Ned, but it's funny that you mentioned that because I went on Daniel Dubois' page, and what did I say? He's in there doing the jailhouse pull-ups. If you go look at him on Instagram, he's doing the jailhouse pull-ups. Know how to box.
Yes. So I don't see Joe Joyce beating Usyk another time. Kubrat Pulev, wash. I think Usyk washes him easily. At number 8, Dillian White. I don't know. Dillian, this depends how Dillian shows up. If Dillian's gonna be Dillian, you like Trill said, if Usyk's disciplined. If Dillian's disciplined not to chase Usyk and lose his stamina and lose his energy, I think Dillian can get it. But if Dillian gasses out, it's Usyk's game for 12 rounds, or he might even knock him out. Like it's just like Dillian might just fall over from just being tired. Ortiz, wash. That's
a double wash. That's an easy wash.
Easy wash. Yo, I ain't even gonna say that. Shout out to my geriatrics. Joseph Parker, that's an intense matchup. I think they both have similar skill sets. I just think it's just who wants it more. So I'm not even gonna predict the winner. I'm just saying it's a draw. It's split down the middle right there. Alexander Povetkin, wash. Povetkin will get washed by Usyk. Andy Ruiz Jr., that's another one split down the middle because they got different styles, but one has fast hands and the other one has fast feet. If the fast feet can't get away from the fast hands, it's going to be a problem for Usyk. But if Andy Ruiz can't catch the slippery snake, then Usyk gets it anyway, but it's straight down the middle. Deontay Wilder, Usyk. I say 25-75 Usyk. Deontay Wilder always has that equalizer right hand to some, but I just see Usyk outboxing him and avoiding it. Like Deontay can't get him, catch him at all, and Usyk beats him because he's more of a skill fighter. Now AJ and Fury, it's a wash. I think AJ and Fury is not gonna is skilled enough to move around and box. They box. Fury's a bigger Usyk, even though he may be a little slower, but he's not Usyk. He's not the type to like sit around and get hit by Usyk. And AJ, you come to AJ, you're gonna pay. So that's all I'm saying. He got power in both hands. He's gonna catch you, and I don't know if Usyk can take that type of power. So that's where I said that's where it's the top two. I agree with Toney Bellew. It's split down the middle with some of the fighters, but it's not a wash. I don't see him running through all these fighters, and I don't see him losing to all these fighters. But it depends how. That's just how I see it from with the list.
They with the Ruiz too. I don't want people to misconstrue what I said about, he got fast. His feet are faster than Andy Ruiz. People got to forget Usyk's pretty fast too.
Yeah.
Usyk's hands is really fast also. You know what I'm saying?
The power is not there. That's all I'm gonna say.
The power is not there. I'm just talking about the fast hands and feet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He has enough to keep you off of you.
Remember, Ruiz is a counter fighter. And Ruiz knows if he doesn't have the power, he'll take a punch to give a punch. That's a dangerous fight for Usyk, bro. But I hear what y'all saying though. But I
still think that will be that's a hard fight. But I see Usyk pulling it out.
I ain't complex.
Okay, so I love Trill's impassioned speech and everything he said, and I love it, and I get the energy about Usyk and Toney Bellew. You know what I mean? He's been in the ring with Usyk, and he's probably remembering that when he got knocked out, right, by Usyk. I forget what round, 8th round, right? 8th round, he got knocked out. So he's like, man, this dude's a beast. But that was at cruiserweight. This is heavyweight. This is what I'm gonna say. Is Usyk a sublime boxer? Absolutely. Is he an incredible boxer? Absolutely. But at heavyweight, let's look at what he's done at heavyweight. One, Chaz Witherspoon, a guy who came in on a week's notice and who retired on the stool. So he's out of shape. He wasn't training. Even though Usyk was boxing him, he still couldn't put him away. A guy who's like, you've literally been training, and this guy got off the couch. He retired because he was just too tired. You couldn't put him away. Derek Chisora, a guy, he's a good, solid heavyweight journeyman, but Chisora's been knocked out a couple times now, and he's been beaten by a number of other heavyweights. Honestly, if you look at his record, a number of guys, you'd be surprised. He's lost a lot, but it's fine. But Usyk still looked like he struggled at times with Chisora. Chisora was doing stuff to him, you know what I mean? So when you talk about the heavyweight division, can he beat most of the list? I don't see it, not yet. I haven't seen anything that makes me believe that he can do that to those guys at cruiserweight. Sure, he's got power, he's got move, everything. He can do that to guys 200 pounds and under. But when you go 200 pounds and up, can you do the same thing? Because the thing is that the heavyweight division, you guys just said he has everything, but he doesn't have the power. Well, this is a heavyweight division. It takes one punch. These guys, everybody you're dealing with can knock you out with one punch, with one well-placed punch. And it's cool you're winning rounds and da-da-da-da, but if you get knocked out before the end of the fight, that's it. And if you don't have the power to keep these guys honest, I mean, I know you're saying like maybe they can't just walk in on him, but I don't, if he can't put out a Chaz Witherspoon, right? Then how is he gonna, that means you don't have enough power to put out a Chaz Witherspoon, a guy who's off the couch. So how are you gonna stop some of these other guys who've been training and are ready for you? How are you gonna stop them from coming in on you, right? That's my thing. I don't know yet. Usyk is a good boxer, and there's some people who believe in Usyk wholeheartedly. I think Tim Bradley and Andre Ward are saying that he could even beat Joshua. They think like in a straight up boxing match, he could beat Joshua. That's their opinion. So some people believe in him honestly, but me, I haven't seen it yet. I know Ned just went through the whole heavyweight division. Some of those matches that, I think Usyk loses a lot of those. You know what I mean? He could possibly win if he can box his way through the 12 rounds, but honestly, a lot of those guys I think will put him on his butt. I like Usyk. I'm interested. I think he's gonna get the shot. I think he beats Joe Joyce again, probably. But let's see. You know what I mean? Joe Joyce just kind of redeemed himself with the Dubois fight, like, or not redeemed himself, but you know, these are also older guys. Joe Joyce is older, and Usyk is like 34, something like that. So these are
like 33, actually.
Yeah, 33, 34. No, he just turned 34.
All right.
He just turned 34. So he's 34. These are spring chickens, you know what I mean? So, and you know, you can sometimes have a later career in boxing, but it's not that often, you know what I mean? Sometimes in the 30s, guys start to fall off. So let's see what happens. You know, I like Usyk. I think he's a good addition to the heavyweight division. I'm excited to see what he does, but I'm not so sold on him. Like, yeah, Bell, you got knocked out by him, but that was at under 200 pounds. Let's talk about 200 pounds and up. Some of these guys at 240, 250, 260, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you might be faster than them, but depending on the ring size, depending on whatever, these guys can catch you, or they might take one to give you one. And can you keep up? Can you keep up the race for 12 rounds? You're gonna be on your bike the whole time? I don't know. So that's just my feeling on it. You know, Usyk, let's see what he does. I think he's got a little bit more to prove, though. A heavyweight.
Sounds good. You might see this video circulating, so I just want you to actually listen.
With that gravity.
I've never seen you do jump rope.
I ain't done jump rope and shit several years.
This is
All right. Now get into the point here.
No, I just before you dive in, like Complex, you said a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? I was sitting here. And we really, like, you know, we joke around a lot, you know what I'm saying? And we say, you know, Chaz Witherspoon and all that, you know what I'm saying? Wasn't training, but he was. He stayed in the gym. He was working. He got his own business and all that. He just wasn't getting fights at that time. And this was like the first test for Usyk. And then we talked about Chisora. Like, the making to the point where I was saying, it doesn't matter. You're not going to knock everybody out. This is boxing. Right? He's still winning. He's still winning, my brother.
So
you know
far,
what I'm saying?
so
And
far.
not probably how you might like it. And I'm getting that this is the heavyweight division. And this is where the punches are and all this. But you got people like Tyson Fury who ain't knocking people out. You know what I'm saying? You got other fights, they not knocking guys out. You knock out, if you put in people I'm sure if you put certain people in front of him, he would have got them out of there. You know what I'm saying? But we saying this is with a Chaz Witherspoon. Nobody has flattened a Chaz Witherspoon out. There's TKOs, and you probably won unanimous decision, but nobody's flattened a Chaz Witherspoon out. Then you got Derek Chisora, who's been in there with all these other big guys, who was way bigger than this guy here. And this was supposed to be the real test for him. And to me, he passed this test. I'm not going to discredit a guy who keeps beating the guys that they put in front of him. And y'all going to herald a guy who's beat crap. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Then you got to show this boy Usyk some love.
It's not about love or hate. It's just about he hasn't shown it yet. That's my thing.
That's my argument, bro.
It's like he hasn't shown anything at heavyweight yet. And Chaz Witherspoon has lost.
He showed me.
Okay, yeah.
Hold on. He hasn't. Every fight we see from the next fight, we're going to learn something new from that fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Every fight we come is going to be another that we're going to learn something new from another fighter. You know what I'm saying? So this next fight, who he gets in there, whatever, we're gonna be like, oh, now this is the biggest test that he had in heavyweight. The next one he's gonna have, because he didn't come from this weight. But I want to see Wilder in there with a Derek and see how he fared.
You want to see Wilder against Derek Chisora?
Back there, I would want to see how he fared against that. A guy who's coming forward, throwing them punches. I want to see that. I want to see him against one of these live dogs that's coming at because that was ready to go after Usyk. They came in there ready to beat Usyk up like he's a small fry. We're going to show him what this heavyweight division is. I want to see guys that go at y'all guy like that.
Chaz Witherspoon, lay down. Just FYI, Chaz Witherspoon, I'm looking at his record. He got knocked out by Seth Mayhem Mitchell.
That was a TKO, right?
In 2012
TKO, right? That wasn't a flash.
That's a name from back. That's G's boy.
That's why I mentioned that fight. Yeah. I know boxing.
Yeah.
I know what fight I was talking about when I said the TKO victory. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like a person ain't gonna just. You're not gonna just say something to me.
Right there. You know what I'm saying? That's that. You know what I mean?
He keeps them
That's
honest.
G's boy.
You can't get mad at how he beats them and he beats these guys because you didn't see him knock these guys out here and stop him. He still got the victory and he still win. That's all I'm saying. You can't use the Jedi mind trick with me or flip the words. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what you said. You said that this guy couldn't stop these guys, but he got the victory. It ain't about knocking these guys out. Floyd didn't become great from knocking everybody out. He still got the dub. He made these guys outclass, and look foolish. That's enough for me.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna say you're wrong, Cho.
No. It's not no longer, right? We have just differences of opinions.
It's just difference in opinion. For me
just
personally, like I said, in the heavyweight division, what I like to see is it doesn't have to be knockouts. I'm not just knockdowns and knockouts or whatever. Obviously, it is a sweet science, and there's different ways to win. You win on the judges' scorecard. That's a totally legitimate win. But what I'm saying is, like, when you start to get to these other guys, let's see. Derek Chisora, the fight, I feel like I wish I would have seen him dominate a little bit more. I think he did win, but I think there was times where Derek Chisora was giving him trouble. And I'm like, okay, you're 34, you're getting past, struggling a little bit with Derek Chisora. When you start to get to these other guys, these guys are animals, you know what I mean? But hey, we'll see. I'm open to seeing it. I
didn't think he was struggling. I think he was weathering the storm. You know what I'm saying? Being smart, collecting that data. You know what I'm saying?
Chisora ain't got endurance. You know what I'm saying?
That's what he's doing.
And Chisora was dead tired. Chisora was dead tired in there.
Catch Floyd Mayweather losing the first 2 rounds.
He lost more than 2 rounds. He lost more than 2 rounds.
No, I'm saying, but you most likely will catch him losing the first 2 rounds in a lot of fights. You know why? He's collecting that data.
Yeah.
After he collects it, you can't touch him. And that's how I think Usyk could do in the heavyweight. Look, I love athletic, moving fighters, and especially heavyweights. It blew my mind. I jumped on the AJ train. When I seen what he did in that rematch against Andrew Ruiz, seeing how he was moving, he was looking Muhammad Ali. I loved that. Muhammad Ali, one of the greatest heavyweights. His movement in the ring was second to none. He wasn't a stationary target. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, definitely. I that's just my opinion on Usyk. I'm not getting mad at him. He's still winning. No matter who you put in, even if it's not a knockout, the boy's still winning. I'm sorry, Kaden. I'm going on.
Joseph Parker, who has good footwork, fast hands, and power. You think he can still beat Joseph Parker?
I think he beats Joseph Parker because of other things that Joseph Parker lacks. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going in there. I think Joseph Parker lacks a killer instinct. I think that Joseph Parker, you know what I'm saying? When he has that's a different subject, but I think that Usyk does pull that out too. Even though I think Joseph Parker is very talented fighter. I think Andy Ruiz is a very talented fighter as well. I just think that Usyk, he outpoints these guys. I think he's just that good. I think he's one of the best dancers in the heavyweight division. You know what I'm saying? He's trained by, what was he trained by? Lomachenko's daddy. You know what I'm saying? And look, the guy in there, and this is when, and I'm gonna steal this from Kaden. Kaden, let me hold this real quick. Kaden will always say to me, right? You know what I'm saying? Like this is it's like, say a big fish, a real good big fish will eat a real good little fish. You know what I'm saying? But a real good little fish, you know what I'm saying? It'd be special. It's gonna take somebody that's a special big fish, an AJ or a Tyson Fury, to beat.
Can I get in my Kaden bag? Kaden also said, a great little fish will still get beat by a good big fish. Bars. You know what I'm
saying? If that good big fish has something, and these guys don't have nothing for Usyk. They don't got nothing for him. They don't got nothing for him. I'm trying to tell you, man, they don't got nothing for this kid. It's going to take time. Time and eventually guys wearing and tearing on him for guys to slow him down. And that's where they going to get him. Roy Jones.
Yeah, basically, I think I need to see more from Usyk, but I think his skill set separates him from a lot of the heavyweights in the division. I think he'd have trouble with Dillian White. That doesn't mean he can't beat him. I think he'd have trouble with Joseph Parker. That doesn't mean he can't beat him. I think he had trouble with Andy Ruiz. That doesn't mean he can't beat him. And if he's going to fight Deontay Wilder, he just needs to take away that one trick, and I think he'd beat Wilder. So can he beat these guys? I wouldn't be surprised to see it happen, but I wouldn't be surprised to see those guys beat him either.
The skill set is there.
Hold on. Kaden, you did play that video of Wilder jump rope, but I just wanted to know where you were headed with that.
No, so Complex said, oh, they say Wilder doesn't jump rope. Well, here's a video of him jump roping right now. So I said, well, let me look this up. And then when I looked it up and listened to the audio, you hear Wilder saying himself that he hasn't jump rope for years. So I just assumed that was like a video circulating on the social media to try to act like and create the illusion that Wilder jumps rope. But if you actually listen to the audio, he'll tell you himself he hadn't jumped rope in years.
And there he goes.
Dated April 3rd, 2019.
And there he goes shooting himself in the foot once again.
Please let us know how you feel in the comment section. You think Usyk got it or not? Let us know how you feel on and check us out on Instagram and Twitter, and also check out our podcast on all major streaming services. We are the Boxing Bros.
And I like Usyk. I really do.